This is Zichru Simanim Gemara Basra Daf Kuf Lamid Dalin. And again, you spell out Kuf Lamid Dalin, you have cloud. So the siman for the Kuf Lamid Dalin is going to be these wonderful clouds. And of course, when you think clouds, you think birds. You have birds flying under the clouds, being burned up by the incredible Kedusha from the Torah of Rav Yechlim and Zakkai. The burnt up bird falls on the head of a man that says, I divorced my wife in the past. And there's two people standing and says, guess what? You're not believed. For the future, you might, but for the past, you are not. And then people are standing around and they're wondering and they're hacking. Mipal Ginon, Tibure, can we split up his words? He's not believed towards the past, but can we believe him for the future? Because it's Biyade Legarsha, because he could do it right now. Daf Kof Lamed Dalet, the daf of clouds, burning of birds over the head of Yechlim and Zakeh, as we're going to discuss the 80 Talmidim of Hillel HaZaken. The bird falls on the head of a man who's claiming he divorced his wife in the past and he told, I'm sorry, you are not an Ammon. And then the bystanders want to know, in this Tav Kuf Lamed Daled, the story with the clouds, the birds falling on this guy's head, do we split up his words and believe him or not? So we take these 3 points and we dive a little bit deeper. Point number 1 was the birds flying under the clouds of Tav Kuf Lamed Daled were being burnt up by the fire of Rabbi Yechlim ben Zakkai. The Raisa said, Yechlim Zakkai, 80 Talmidim, 30 were Shrayu, for Ashras Shechina, Moshe Rabbeinu, 30 were Rayu that stopped the sun like Yeshua ben Nun, and then there were 20 in the middle. The greatest was Yonasan ben Uziel. And of course, by saying the least, we can see how great the great was. The least was Yechlim ben Zakkai. He was an expert in Torah, and astronomy, and Gematrios, and Mishalim, Sichas Sidim, Sichas Dekalim, Sharis, Davar Gadol, Davar Katan, Meiser Merkava, Abayis, Davai Verav, Lahanchel, Oya Vayishish, Vatsraseim, Malay Hashem filled up his storehouses with wisdom. The least of all of them was of Yochanan and Zakkai, how much more so the greatest of all them, Yonasan ben Ziel. And what is it said about Yonasan ben Ziel? V'shashi Yoshe ba'isik v'atayra k'lev shebarech lav, the answer of any bird that flew over of Yochanan. Yonasan ben Ziel said, of course, under the clouds of Avkuf Lamed would immediately be burnt off. And where did that burning bird fall? It fell on someone's head who was busy claiming that he divorced his wife, and therefore there is no Yibum. Gerashti is Ishti. Says the Gemara. For the next Mishnah is going to teach us to say, Zebani, this is my son, you're Naaman. Why? Lift us Isha min Yibum. Even though the Mishnah already told our Mishnah says that he's presumed to have a brother, so why would we potentially Yibum? So the question is, do we only have an Amonis when there's no Muchsakais, even when there is a Muchsik? But it says, Shmuel, the reason why there's an Ammon is because Hayel biyadil garshai, he could divorce her right now. Says Rav Yosef, Baal Shem Megrash is Ishti Ammon. Why? Because he could divorce her at any moment. Based on a steer of Yechel, the Gemara concludes that this Namanas is only in the future, lahaba, because you could actually divorce your wife. But lemafreya, to say backwards, there would be no Namanas because you can't actually divorce your wife moving backwards. And point number 3 was, even if you're not Naman on the past, could we utilize your words and apply it towards the future? Do we say, Palginan dibure, Amar lemafreya manu lavnina lahaba, will you believe it for the future? Do we say Palginan dibure or not? The Gemara concluded that Rameir and Rav Zeda argued about these points, and says the Gemara, the difference is going to be that maybe only to have a mizaneh killed, but not his wife itself. Why? Because you could, so you can see you can split up his words. Says the Gemara, betray goofy balginan, but bechad goofy lo balginan. In our case, it's all one person. Therefore, it's not simple to say balginan dibure, even though we know that we would say balginan dibure where it's 2 different people. And that's Daf Kuf Lamed Daled, Daf of clouds, the birds flying underneath the clouds, being burnt up by the head of Rabbi Yonasan ben Uziel, the smallest of the greatest of Talmidim of the 80 Talmidim of Hillel HaZaken, and a person after the bird falls in his head claims he divorced his wife. I'm sorry, you don't have any Naamanus. And the question then is, do you have an Naamanus lahaba or not? Of Kuf Lamedal, in the Daf of clouds.